All right, let's be real for a second. A lot of y'all are out here hiding when God has called you to lead. You're out here playing small. You're out here asking for permission. You're out here tiptoeing around your purpose as if it's an option. Newsflash, it's not. We talked about this on an earlier episode, but God did not create you to blend in. He didn't anoint you to be wallpaper. He created you to stand out. And he certainly did not call you to play the background in your own life. He created you to lead, to influence, and to have an impact. The level of impact that you will have is determined by you. It's not determined by God. He already set forth what he wants you to do on this earth realm. You decide if you want to participate or not. You decide if you feel like you're worthy or not. You decide if you want to walk around with your head down and get this and that opinion from everybody around you instead of God's opinion. That's something you decide, but God has already decided. Today, we're going to be breaking down what it is to be a God-ordained leader and why some of y'all are stuck, and to how to finally step into the calling that God has placed on your life. So buckle up, because this is about to shake you. Listen, leadership is not about likes, follows, and clout. It's about obedience. Isaiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I set you apart. I anointed you as a prophet to the nations." Did you hear that? God anointed you for something before you were out the womb, before you stepped one foot on this earth. So what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for an Instagram verification badge? Are you waiting for a certificate that says now you can speak, you're now a life coach? Are you waiting for a round of applause? Are you waiting for your family to throw you some type of celebration party? Congratulations, you're launching out into what God called you to. What are you waiting for? So here's the problem. We want to be chosen, but we don't want to be set apart. We want to lead, but we don't want to be different. Sis, hear me when I say this. You can't lead when all you want to do is be like everybody else. And a lot of y'all have every excuse in the book. Trust me, because I had it before. A lot of it is, I'm not ready yet. What if people judge me? I don't have all the resources I need. I don't have all the money I need. I don't have this support from this person. I need somebody else to come with me. Whatever the reason, it's a whole bunch of them. We can go on and go on and on with all the little excuses that we have in our brains of why we can't do what we're called to do. And it makes no sense, because it's like you're saying that God handpicked you, gave you a calling and gifts, and all you can say in return is, I'm not ready yet. Let me tell you something. Moses had a speech problem, but God still called him a leader. Gideon was hiding, but God still called him a mighty man. And David was the youngest person in his family, but God still called him a king. So what is your excuse? Exodus 4:10-12 says, "But Moses said to the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, either in the past or since you have spoken to your servant, but I am slow of speech and of tongue. Then the Lord said to him, Who has made man's mouth? Who makes him mute or deaf or seeing or blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now therefore go, and I will be with your mouth and teach you what you shall say." Listen, God will teach you as you go, but you have to stop making excuses and just start. You have to get moving. You know what separates leaders from everybody else? They do it afraid. Now, we as Christians, who are not just leaders, which what the world would just call us leaders, we as Christians have another element, because we don't just do stuff afraid. We don't do stuff afraid at all, because the Bible commands us to not fear. So we get our face in the book of life, in the Bible, and we get that fear out of there. We read every scripture we need to on that subject, and we build up our faith. We declare that we are the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. We declare that the Father, he is not a liar. He is not a man in which he shall lie. So if he told you something, he's going to do it. We know that he is on our side, and there's more with us than against us. We remind ourselves of who we are, where we're going, and who we serve, and who created us. We don't have to have it all together. We progress as we're on our way. And I talked about this in my first video on the series, but when I was reading this book by this man who was saying that he researched different billionaires, and he found out that majority of them launch things, start businesses, all those things, when the idea that they have is only 60% done. Meanwhile, me and everybody else with this issue is still waiting till we get stuff 100% done, which is another form of making an excuse of why we can't launch out and be the leader that God has called us to be. What separates leaders from everybody else is that they obey even when they don't feel qualified. They step out even when they don't feel like they have all the answers. One of my favorite verses is Joshua 1:9, and it says, "Have I not commanded you, be strong and of courage? Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Sis, if you're waiting for a sign, this is it. Stop waiting, stop hiding, and start leading. All right, so it's challenge time. Drop in the comments one thing that you're going to step into this week. Are you going to launch that business? Finally speak up at work? Lead in your church? Whatever. And listen, if this hit your spirit, don't just keep it to yourself. Share it with somebody else. Share it with a friend that needs to hear this as well. And also, in this and in life, you never know whose breakthrough is tied to your obedience. All right, so make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and turn those notifications on, because in the next episode, we're going to go deep. We're going to talk about how God created you to be set apart. Because listen, everybody is not meant to go with you, and that's a good thing. Stay tuned, and I'll see you next time. Bye.